A fraternity has been suspended from the University of Kentucky for 5 years.
I knew right then and there that this could not end well.
A DJ at a Lexington bar describes how he took down an armed man who was trying to make off with his tip money.
Police in southern Kentucky want to find the vandals who targeted a city park. We'll have more on the damage ahead at 4:30.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. Rounds of showers and thunderstorms continue to rumble across the region, and some of these could be strong or even severe.
This is all part of a very stormy setup that carries us through the upcoming weekend. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey on what we can expect for tonight. How about it, Chris?
Yeah, a lot of heavy rain coming from the thunderstorms that are out there as of now, and I think that's going to be the big threat that we're facing over the next several hours. Some local flash flood problems may begin to pop up. We're looking at live sky cams across the region now. Lexington, rain. Frankfort, rain. Jackson, we've had some rain right now to beat the band there on Interstate 75 around the London area. We look at your Defender radar network, and you notice general run-of-the-mill rains across areas of northern Kentucky. Thunderstorms, though, targeting the southern parts of the area. Strongest storms stretching from Barberville into Knox County through Corbin, London, back over toward Mount Victory, the Burnside area, getting in on some of that. Quite a little lightning show here around Girdler, over toward Barberville, Corbin, London, now starting to get in on some of those heavy rains. That extends into eastern parts of Pulaski County. Additional thunderstorms now from I-65, where we have the concern for some flash flooding into parts of Hardin County, eastward into sections of Boyle County, western parts of Lincoln County, and just to the north of Liberty here into Casey County. Look at all the lightning with that storm that is crossing over 906, heading toward the Houstonville area. To the north of that, it's general moderate to locally heavy rains. We've had a rumble or two of thunder, but overall into the bluegrass area, that's mainly just some light to moderate rain. All this stuff, though, coming at us from the southwest. Look toward Paducah and to the southwest in Nashville. That's another thunderstorm cluster that is likely to make its way to the northeast into our part of the world a little later this evening. Guys, when I come back in a few minutes, we'll track that and talk about how much rain that may drop and the cause for local flash flooding.
All right, Chris, thank you. A fraternity at the University of Kentucky has been suspended for at least 5 years.
A complaint against the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity says students were forced to drink alcohol and endure sleep deprivation and humiliation. WKYT's Victor Puente talked with school officials about those allegations. It's our top story at 4:30.
The complaint filed by the university says the hazing happened last fall and this spring. Now that fraternity won't be allowed back on campus for at least 5 years. The complaint against the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity says during the last fall and spring semesters, students were forced to partake in alcohol consumption, sleep deprivation, and humiliation. It says students were forced to drink alcohol to the point of vomiting. It also says they endured mental stress, including lineups in the basement of the fraternity that often involved yelling or verbal abuse, not allowed to sit on furniture, not allowed in certain rooms of the fraternity, calisthenics in and around vomit. The university says the fraternity cooperated with their investigation. Because of the violations, Phi Kappa Psi will be banned from UK's campus until 2021. The members of the fraternity are also required to clear out of the fraternity house. School officials said they couldn't comment on discipline for specific individuals.
The chapter has been kicked off campus. I don't know that it impacts any particular student's status as a student per se, but the organization has been dealt with, and that would be our normal course of process. And we wouldn't speak to individual disciplinary issues anyway.
Once that 5-year period is up, the fraternity can reapply and ask to be allowed back on campus. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The university says members living at the fraternity house on Aylesford are expected to be moved out by May 8th. A robbery suspect who was tackled by employees in a Lexington bar is behind bars.
Police say Dorian Webb stole money from a tip jar at Max Karaoke on Lane Allen Road just before 3 this morning. WKYT's Mark Barber has more on how employees were able to fight back.
Employees here at Max Karaoke Bar say this spot is known for its laid-back atmosphere. While they never would have expected that something like this would happen here, they also say the armed man that they took down certainly got a lot more than he expected.
It's a chill spot. there's not a lot of drama that happens.
Police say the calm turned to chaos after this man, Dorian Webb, walked into the bar.
Once I saw the weapon pulled from his waistband, I knew right then and there that this could not end well.
Officers say the 41-year-old appeared to be drunk when he started pocketing money from the DJ's tip jar.
I approached several of the patrons and told them to exit the premises, got them outside.
After they got a pregnant woman to safety, a bartender started talking the armed man down.
Kept on following him, waiting until the gun was put away good enough, and then that's when I went for it.
The DJ says he tackled Webb and with the help of a few customers, held him until police arrested him. While these men diffused a dangerous situation, they don't want any credit for catching this suspected crook.
Our prior military experience kicked in and we did what we had to do.
I searched through court records and found that Webb has been in and out of courts for 10 years. He's been jailed for assault, harassment, and possessing drugs. He will be back in court tomorrow to answer to his latest charge of first-degree robbery. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
We reached out to Webb for his side of the story, but he didn't want to talk to us from jail. An arrest has been made in the case of a Louisville toddler who died in a hot car. Jacqueline Thomas is charged with second-degree manslaughter. She is the owner of the daycare that was in charge of 2-year-old Levante Swain. He was found dead in a daycare SUV last week outside Louisville Elementary School. Right now, we don't know if Thomas was the driver and if that driver will be charged. Police in Whitley County are looking for some vandals who defaced a damaged property in two city parks.
It all happened at Briar Creek Park and the Bill Woods Park. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talked to the Williamsburg mayor, who says the public needs to step forward and help name the person behind the mischief.
Problems here at the Bill H. Woods Park in downtown Williamsburg were discovered earlier today, and they believe that some vandals set this tree on fire, that they damaged a fountain over here to my left, and then they took some graffiti and they wrote on a park bench. Not a great deal of damage or destruction, but the message that this sends says the mayor has been very troubled by this. He says they want to catch these people and put an end to this before it gets any worse.
99.9% of the people in this town would not do a thing, but we've got a small fraction which can mess it up for everybody, and they've done some damage here. The biggest thing that we spent thousands of dollars on this fountain, and they've broken the electrical part of it.
The mayor tells me he fears that fountain may be destroyed. He says they may have to go in and completely redo the electrical components. He says he has yet to determine exactly how much that is going to cost. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And vandals also left spray paint at Briar Creek Park, including an unusual message left on the playground. More on that at 5:30. He sang the national anthem at the UK game back in January, you may recall, and we now know when the pride of Harlan County, Jordan Smith, will be coming back to Lexington. The Herald Leader reporting that Smith has been tapped by the Troubadour Concert Series to perform at the Lyric Theater in June. This will be Smith's first concert in Lexington since winning season 9 of The Voice. Ticket information for the June 16th show has not yet been released. It looks like Prince's estate may be up for grabs. We'll have the very latest on a legal battle that could be brewing over his assets coming up on WKYT.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
A lot of noise again out there this afternoon, courtesy of some of those thunderstorms. It's one of those evenings or afternoons / early part of the evening that has a little more bark than bite. Similar to last night, though, as we get deeper into the evening, got to watch for the high water threat and a strong or local severe thunderstorm. Live severe weather cams from across the area. Not picking up on true severe weather, as I mentioned, but rainy skies. Frankfort, Louisville, E-Town, Florence and Lexington, Corbin. We could go down the list here, and we are. Just about every location at some point or another this afternoon has picked up on a little rain If you haven't, hang tight. You're going to get some rain as we go through tonight and tomorrow. Defender Radar Network, clusters of thunderstorms. These are fairly slow movers that are cruising on across parts of southern Kentucky. So heavy rain coming from the skies here in the northern parts of the Knox County area, just to the south of Manchester along the Hal Rogers Parkway. How about downtown London? Heaviest rain has lifted just to our north and northeast. So folks around the Tobacco Road area up toward Maplesville, with some thunder and some lightning coming from that particular storm. Kind of a nasty commute, though, on Interstate 75 coming out of Rockcastle County into Laurel County. You got a nice little thunderstorm cruising into the southern tip there of Rockcastle County. Back to the west, strong thunderstorm here across parts of the Hardin County area where we've had some severe weather and some local flash flooding. Also watching this very slow moving storm coming out of Casey County toward the western part of Lincoln County, Houstonville. Rain has really picked up over the past little bit, hasn't it? You go into Richmond, showers toward parts of Fayette County. That extends to the northeast. Not seeing a whole lot of lightning coming from the skies with this particular round of some thunder boomers out there. The occasional distant rumble of thunder, though we've had a nice little soaking rain here. West side of Lexington over toward Versailles, down into the Keene area of Jessamine County. Heavier downpours in those particular areas. Want to focus on western Tennessee, though, and southwestern Kentucky. Watch how the last couple of frames here, you start to see a little lightning going up, and then you've got this little complex of thunderstorms. That is going to lift its way to the north and northeast. So additional thunderstorms are on the way tonight and into tomorrow. This isn't a big threat for severe weather. The flood threat, I think, is the greatest of the four that we are looking at. Tornado threat, it's always the lowest. Why do I think the flood threat is the greatest? Well, look at the numbers. Over the next roughly 30 hours, this particular model is really trying to hotspot a couple of 2, 3, and near 4-inch amounts. With the slow movement of these thunderstorms, you get 1 or 2 to move over the same areas in a short amount of time. Look out. High water is a possibility, at least on some of those smaller creeks and streams. We catch a break in this tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's not going to be wall-to-wall rain. Friday looks pretty good right now, 75. I've lowered the numbers a little bit heading into the weekend with the rain chance that will really ramp up again Saturday and Sunday. And speaking of lower numbers, that's your Kentucky Derby week. It may get downright cool middle of next week.
Cooling things off a little bit with this rain, isn't it?
We really are. We're at 64 degrees right now, Lexington, and the rain's coming in this weekend. May get in a little quicker, so that means those high temperatures are down too. Watch the creeks and streams south of Lexington over the next few hours.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Beautiful potted plants, flowers just in time for Mother's Day and Derby, plus a festival of flowers. We'll tell you about it when we return here on WKYT.
Hey, mentioned this little cell a bit ago, cruising out of Liberty, the Casey County area into Lincoln County. It's a new severe thunderstorm warning that is out now for the small little sliver of real estate here to the south of Stanford. That includes the Waynesburg area, Casey and Lincoln County, guys. Severe thunderstorm warning that'll go until 5:15.
Chris, thank you. Well, with all this rain, flowers are finally out in full force, and this weekend there's a great opportunity for you to enjoy it all.
All of you with green thumbs. Deanne Stevens is out and about today. She joins us from Bywater Farm and Greenhouse with more on their Festival of Flowers. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here at Bywater Farm and Greenhouse in Georgetown. This weekend is the Festival of Flowers, where you can see over 5 acres of beautiful flowers and plants in the greenhouses here at Bywater. Maybe more importantly, it's also Mother's Day weekend next weekend. So we want to tell you how you can cost-effectively put together great Mother's Day plants and flowers. Steve Pfister with us. My mama loves her some plants and flowers.
Absolutely. And you can design your own unique design of planter. Now, right here, what we have, I mean, we do have ones already made, but this one, you do your own. Just like caladiums, this is for shade. And what I've done is I'm designing this one with dragon wing begonias around them. They love the shade, and they can take around 6-8 hours of sunshine, but try not the heat of the day. So you put dragon wing begonia, they do extremely well. People don't utilize dragon wing begonia enough. They are extremely good plant. They're kind of weep over the side with their blooms. Now,
and easy to take care of?
Easy to take care of,
Okay.
and you can also, the new coleuses that we got,
Okay.
my gosh, you can put those in there. That's chocolate covered cherry, and that'll make a splash of color in the shade.
Love the color on there.
Now right down here we're designing something for sun. Now right in the middle is Angelonia, and that does extremely well. It'll get up here about 8-10 inches tall and makes a nice bloom all summer long. And right here is some of the newer geraniums. This is Calliope Lavender Rose, and you plant those around the edge of that pot also. But then if you want to drape it over the side, you can put the Million Bells right on the edge, and they'll come over, just weep over the side, or you can even put in sweet potato vine to come over and contrast with the color of your pot.
You make it look so easy, Steve Pfister. Can people come in and say, okay, what do I need to make this work?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we do, and we'll tell them exactly what they need, how many plants, and go from there. So it's and you can come in and pick and choose something that matches your own color scheme that you happen to have.
Love it. Mother's Day next weekend, Derby next weekend. You got a busy weekend.
Yes, we do.
A weekend full of flowers here at Festival of Flowers. Bywater Farm and Greenhouse, located just a mile past the courthouse here in Georgetown. Come see Steve and the awesome crew here at Bywater. And you're welcome for reminding you that Mother's Day is right around the corner, right?
It is really close now this year.
All right, come see it all here at Bywater Farm and Greenhouse. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Deanne. The death of Prince is setting the stage for a court fight over the pop icon's assets.
His sister, Tyka Nelson, filed court documents in Minnesota stating Prince did not have a will and requesting that she be made special administrator of his estate. The court documents also list 6 half-siblings as equal heirs. Prince's total assets are unknown, but his reported net worth, including his Paisley Park property, is an estimated $300 million. And his music catalog, which includes an unpublished recording with Miles Davis, could be worth hundreds of millions more. Here's one way to spice up a boring day at the office while they're rolling in the streets coming up. We just saw Deanne there with all those beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
If you've got some flowers out now, they are taking a big drink right now. We're getting a lot of rain.
I know. We're listening to it on the rooftop here on Winchester Road, Chris. Rain coming and going, but a lot of it out there.
Yeah, we're going to get in on some rounds of heavy rain this evening. Even a little small hail report now coming out of parts of Casey County, heading into Lincoln County, and all in response to the wave train of thunderstorm action coming in from southwest to northeast. And we continue with that severe thunderstorm warning up for a very small chunk here of northeastern Casey County over toward the Waynesburg area of southern Lincoln County. That'll go until 5:15. Had a Twitter report of a little small hail coming from that particular storm. Additional rounds of showers and storms continue to flare up across the entire area, and that will be impacting us as the evening goes on. We'll come back and talk about the next several hours and show you future radar a little later on. Right now, let's get a check on traffic on what is a wet and a busy afternoon. Here's Officer Don.
Boy, it is wet, and we're being impacted in various places with collisions. There's a crash right now working at Todd's and Mickey. That is a non-injury collision. Police are also trying to clear one downtown at Jefferson and Manchester Street, and it's very slow all over town. All of our hot spots even slower this afternoon. Nicholasville Road, Harrodsburg Road, even the Circle, the inner and outer loops from Georgetown over to Versailles Road. Affecting our drive times to Versailles, Nicholasville, a little slower ride this afternoon as well. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, be careful out there. Some eaglets get names and fun in the office. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
Mr. President and the First Lady now have names for their babies. We're talking about the bald eagle parents at the U.S. National Arboretum in Washington. The eaglets, hatched in February, will be known as Freedom and Liberty. Thousands of bird lovers have been watching the eagle parents and their babies on the live streaming DC Eagle Cam.
Beautiful sight there. All right, if you have to sit at a desk all day, at least dress up and turn it into a game. That's what they do in Taiwan at the annual office chair races. They take a cue from a Japanese tradition. Participants dress up in bizarre costumes and they race backwards down the streets in office chairs. You think we should do that tonight when we're not on the news?
Oh, yeah, right down the driveway here at WKYT in the rain. Why not?
Bad
I'm ready
idea,
for it, Amber.
guessing. Bad idea. On that note, please stick with us. Here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.